Welcome back to my series of swatching out all of the convenience colors in my watercolor palette. Today we are looking at PBR, so any mixes that start with brown as their first color. I think I've got about 10 in my palette, and so I'm going to label this sheet and then we will get into swatching them all out. Alright, the page is labeled. It is a pretty solid mixture of brands. We only have one handmade paint in this collection, but other than that, it's everything from the low end, so White Knights, up to Daniel Smith and Schmincke. So let's get into swatching. First up is White Knights Maroon, so PBR 6, PR 19, and PW 6. Then we have Holbein Raw Umber, PBR 7, PY 42. I wish their raw umber was a single pigment. I don't see why it can't be. I have the same issue with Schmincke actually, and several of their colors that I wish were single pigments. Schmincke, then we have Schmincke Forest Olive, which I bought solely for the Schmincke series, but I actually really like as greens go. That being said, it is quite hard in the pan and does take a bit of scrubbing to reactivate nicely. And it is PBR 7, PY 43, and PG 18. Schmincke Green Earth. I've done an entire video on Green Earth and why I don't actually like the next two colors coming up very much, but it is PBR 7 and PG 7. I much prefer the natural Green Earth that most big brands don't carry, but I have many from handmade shops, and so it's fine. Then I have the White Knights version, which is PBR 7 and PG 17. I actually think I prefer the White Knights version. It's got the moodiness that Green Earths tend to have. The Schmincke version's just too bright to be a Green Earth in my opinion. Cascade Green by Daniel Smith is one of my absolute favorite paints. I have been through a tube and a half of this color. It's absolutely fabulous. It is PBR 7 and PB 15. That being said, I've never managed to DIY this paint with the pigments listed on the tube. I've never even gotten close. So I don't know if I just keep going with the wrong PBR 7, but I've gone with some pretty yellow ones and I still don't get anything close. Taiga Mist by White Knights is PBR 7 and PB 15.3. It's a much darker green, but it's still quite pretty. Schmincke Haze Blue. I actually had in my palette before the Schmincke series, and I like it. It's quite a moody blue. Then we have Bela Lugosi by Addison and Sedgwick, PBR 20, PBR 7, PR 101. Sometimes my mouth goes faster than my brain. And then we have Roman Small Ocean Blue, PBR 24 and PB 15.3. I love this color. It's great. It's absolutely fabulous. I absolutely love it. So we're gonna let this page dry and then I'll break down which ones I like and which ones I would repurchase if I was building my palette from scratch again. So we are now dry and let's break down some colors. Holbein Raw Umber, one of my favorites in my mini Holbein palette. 10 out of 10. White Knights Maroon, I don't know that I love on this paper. It's got like a weird texture, but that could also just be the paper. I do tend to like it. Forest Olive, looks really boring on this paper. I'm finding that lots of things seem to be looking boring on this paper, which is a little bit surprising because this is a cotton paper. That being said, Forest Olive is one of my favorites for like the first layer of a ground scene if I'm going to be layering other granulating greens on top. I tend to start with Forest Olive. Schmincke Green Earth and White Nights Green Earth I don't like. I wanted to try big brand Green Earths, and for whatever reason with both of these didn't check the pigment number, and so ended up with two Green Earths that aren't actually Green Earths because they're not PG23s, which is the actual Green Earth pigment, so I wouldn't repurchase. Cascade Green is actually marked number 6, which means it was the 6th professional color that I added to my watercolor palette when I was labeling pans like that, and so it's definitely staying. I'm on, I think, my second 5mm tube of it, and have purchased, I believe, a 15mm tube of it, so it's a favorite. Taiga Mist by White Nights. I don't know that it's been in my palette long enough to have a real opinion. I did enjoy it when I DIY mixed it for a video though, so we're gonna go with that. It would probably, actually I don't know that it would stick around because I've got colors like PBK 31 and 32 in my palette, and that's pretty similar. Schmincke Haze Blue. I go back and forth about this color. The granulation here is super interesting, but overall, like, it's not my favorite. And yeah, I feel like Schmincke could have done some really interesting things with the granulating sets, and some of them just fall flat. I love this brown. This brown is one of my favorite browns. Yes, I know I could mix it myself, but you sometimes just don't get like the right texture if you mix colors yourself, and so I absolutely love this one. Roman Small Ocean Blue, absolutely love it. Don't think I have PBR 24 in my palette, so I couldn't mix this color myself anyways, so it was definitely going to stick around. So I hope you enjoyed watching this part of this series. Let me know what your favorite PBR mix colors are below. I'm always looking for suggestions of things that I should consider adding. I got some really great ones in the single pigment series that I've actually added to my palette. I added 2 yellows to my palette recently based off suggestions from those videos. So let me know your thoughts down below, and thanks for watching.